Hello class, in this video I'll answer some common questions about the online exam. So let's get started. So first of all, we're not meeting on campus in a exam hall, we're doing everything online. The material covered will be chapters 10 through 20, also 8, which we didn't cover at the time of the midterm. It starts with 40 multiple choice questions, and then you move on to 5 short answer questions. There will be 9 listed, choose 5. Total will be 100 marks, and you have 2.5 hours to make it through the exam. So if you're registered with the Paul Menton Center, your time will be scaled up accordingly. If you haven't already contacted me about a preferred start time than 7 p.m., it'll be the same as the rest of the class. So note that the exam is the same format as it has been in the past few years. Next question, where do we get this online exam? Well, let's go through it together. You go to your CU Learn account, click on Our Course, and then you will see the final exam displayed prominently near the top. Let's do it together. So, CU Learn, log in, have your accounts ready, and make sure you know your password so you don't waste any time on exam day. Click on Our Course, and there it is. It pops up right away in big bold letters. Here is the final examination. So what you will need to do, now you won't see this yet, but I can see it because I'm the designer. The final exam, I'm going to click on it, and here is what you'll see. So, okay, you're not going to see a preview, but you will be asked if you'd like to start the attempt, and once you do, notice here a countdown begins. So you have 2.5 hours, and it starts once you click. Here's the first question, and looking at all of the questions, at least the map, you'd see that, okay, you place your response for each question. Now, this particular one, okay, do 6 times 15 divided by 2, 45 is the correct answer, and you will have answered multiple choice question 1. And you'd move down to see all of the questions. Note that the first 40 are multiple choice, and then the last 9 are short answer questions. So let's go back. Okay. Is the exam open book? Now, okay, note that it's the same length as if we were writing this in person in an exam hall. So there's not time to consult, learn the material, think about it, and respond to a question. You have to spit it out a lot quicker than that. So, and when it comes to the short answer questions, they'll be of a different nature, not simple definitions or what are the characteristics of public goods or something that can be easily looked at by reference material. It'll be something more like, let's say that a competitive firm is facing a market price between the average variable cost and the average total cost. Will the firm stay in business? You're going to have to take some time to, if you're reading that from scratch, you're not going to be able to answer in time. So the one thing we'll be on guard for is no direct copying. So you're not going to be able to easily look at an internet site or copy directly from another source. No cut and pasting when it comes to the test. If you found an answer within a minute or two, chances are the grader could likewise find it very quickly. If you have a question during the exam, can you ask? Yes, so what you'll need to do is go to the bottom of your page. Let me go to the sample exam, which is available to you right now, so just to make sure that you have an idea of what you're going to look for. So what you'll need to do is, okay, when you have the exam open, go to the bottom of the page and you will see if you have a question, click on question for instructor or teaching assistant. That will bring you to a big blue button session where a teaching assistant should be and I should be for most of the exam. So just ask. If you don't immediately get a response to your question, know that, okay, we will return quickly. So best thing to do might be, if we're not there, to type it up and we will go back to the exam and return. You'll probably have an answer next time you check. Our calculator is allowed, and not only are they allowed, they are encouraged. In fact, rather than waste time during the test, make sure you have a calculator with you to ensure that you're ready to go. What happens if the CU Learn system fails during the test? Well, answer to that is that try to ensure that that doesn't happen by balancing the number of tests over the all the courses taught by the university so that they're at a manageable level. There is also an alternate server that's being used just for exams to sort of ensure that the general traffic of CU Learn doesn't interfere with exams. IT is on hand throughout the exam schedule to ensure things function smoothly. And if everything happens to really go badly, what you can do is email me. If there's a real disaster of CU Learn, a full reboot might be necessary, but service should return within 15 minutes. What if the outage is on your end rather than over at Carleton? Well, in that case, what you need to do is contact the exam emergency line, phone number listed here, and it'll be displayed on the CU Learn page as you're writing. If your phone system is down, use your cell phone to send a text message, but get in contact as soon as you can. Email me, but copy the emergency exam services as necessary. If necessary, or sorry, it will be required. And I'll email you instructions about how to write the exam at an alternate website. So those instructions will follow only if needed. Really want to get the test over on that day at that time. It's going to be awkward otherwise. Another question, do I need to write the exam or can I just take the satisfactory grade? Well, the answer to that is pretty much always no. I guess the only circumstances by which you could take a satisfactory already is one, your grade is above 83% and you don't need this course as a prerequisite to anything. Not a further economics course, not as a requirement of your program, and you're really convinced you'll never need this as part of a graduate application in later life. So almost always the answer is no. When will you find your results? So like the midterm, committed to give you the multiple choice scores right away. So beware, that will be reported as a grade out of 100, even though it only counts as for 60% of the exam. For instance, if you got 30 of the 40 multiple choice questions right, your grade would be reported as 45 out of 100. That doesn't mean that you failed the exam. That just means that's what you scored on the multiple choice section. The short answers will be added to that later. So the next grade you'll see will be your actual final grade on Carleton Central. Might be reported sometime around April 24th if things go as well as I hope. That includes that my department chair and dean approve right away. That's not really a given. Okay, so just to conclude, do believe that this exam has been developed and will reflect your actual knowledge of course content. It won't differ significantly from whether you wrote the exam in person. Hypothetically, if something about the process went badly, I would sort of take note as the final grades were computed. If I missed it, my department chair would, and if we both missed it, the dean of the department would figure something's wrong compared to ordinary years with this course. Do take note that you have to manage the clock. So more so than usual, if you are spending a lot of time on the first questions, that might sort of feel as though you're consulting reference material and that's why your later answers are weaker. So for that reason, the time limit has to be enforced. And eventually, students that are in the C or D range will have to start thinking about, do you want to keep my actual letter grade for the course or switch it to a satisfactory? If you have any other questions about the online exam, feel free to get in touch with me by email. Good luck, everyone.